Hey guys, Dr. Odom here. This is your midday motivation from a coffee shop. So today I want to talk to you about the story of Andre versus the doorknob. Now Andre is my 1.5-year-old son who I love and adore and cherish, and he is really trying to learn how to open the door. He's just tall enough when he reaches up, if he doesn't get on his tiptoes where his fingers kind of touch the doorknob, where his fingers kind of touch the doorknob where he needs to twist it. So, you know, at first he was getting a little frustrated because he couldn't get his hand on the doorknob fully so he can get on there and get a good turn and open it, because he knew that's what he needed to do to get to the other side of the door. But instead of getting frustrated and stopping, what he did was he figured out that he can get up on his tippy toes, and if he gets up on his tippy toes, then he can get his hand better on the doorknob. Then once he can get on his tippy toes and get his hand on the doorknob, then he had to figure out which way to turn it and how to use the muscles of his wrist, because he had never done that before. So then he was getting a little frustrated at that, but then once I showed him, you know, how to twist a little bit, he got motivated again, got up on his tippy toes, reached up for the doorknob, and did the big twist, and had the greatest expression of happiness on his face. Now the whole time, it took him about an hour to learn how to open the door once we started working on it, but he only got frustrated at a little bitty small parts, and then once I showed him how to do it, he got motivated. So each time he tried to open up the door, instead of shutting down and giving up and thinking he wasn't good enough, he tried to do a little bit better each time. Each time he reached up at the doorknob to open it, he knew he was one step closer to getting to the other side of the door. And that is a good example of the definition of excellence as opposed to perfection. Now, perfection is trying to do something at a high standard or a high level that you can't really ever achieve or maintain. And then once you can't achieve or maintain something, it makes you frustrated and bitter. But excellence is trying to be a little bit better than you were the time before. So each time he reached up to open the doorknob, he was a little bit better than he was the time before. And then instead of getting frustrated, he got motivated. So today I want to ask you, what's your doorknob? What's on the other side of the door? What standard of perfection are you reaching at that's making you shrink and shrivel and get frustrated and get bitter at the world? So whatever that doorknob is, instead of thinking trying to get to a perfect standard always being there, think of how can I be a little bit better? How can I do a little bit better at turning the doorknob so I can get to the other side and get where I need to be at? This is Dr. Odom. So think about that, the difference between excellence and perfection. No one can ever be perfect, but you can always be better than you were yesterday or the time before, and that's excellent. I love you guys. This is your midday motivation from a coffee shop.